Raccoon, who grabs a hold of Hyunwoo and begins shaking him, asking for the necklace. Not wanting to piss him off, Hyunwoo hands it over immediately. The necklace belongs to a guy named Cancun. Still angry for some reason, Raccoon screams at the top of his lungs, asking for this Cancun person to be brought to him immediately. Dakin approaches the ferocious beast and asks him to calm down. We get the backstory of the necklace and why it is so important. Cancun is Raccoon's son and the future chief of the tribe. However, he hated Raccoon's hardcore training and had a habit of running away. To counter this, he was forced to wear a necklace that could track his location and summon him at any time. It had a spell that made him unable to remove it, but someone helped him break out of it. Thus he was able to run away for good. And what do you know? The person who broke the spell turns out to be Hyunwoo's pet Tangy. Completely ignoring the story, Hyunwoo is just impressed that Tangy is even able to do something like that. He thought he was just able to provide buffs. Raccoon apologizes to his guests for getting so angry and says he will reward them properly for bringing him the necklace. He gains a lot of experience and new skills, one of which is a magic condensation skill that increases his magic powers. It's a unique and amazing skill. Magic skills are the most sought after in this game. Raccoon leaves our protagonist with one final quest, if he sees his son Cancun on his travels, to tell him that his home is in the Black Forest. Excited about already receiving another quest, Hyunwoo shakes the hand of Raccoon, telling him to leave it to him. He can handle it no problem. Raccoon also reveals that there was no spell on the necklace in the first place and it was just used as a placebo effect. Tangy gets annoyed when he realizes this means he doesn't actually have a spell-breaking skill. Later, back in the real world, Hyunwoo is woken up by his friend. After playing so much of the arena, he is exhausted and can't even differentiate between real life and online anymore, thinking that Youngchin is there to give him a quest. Youngchin gives our protagonist good news. First, his video from earlier blew up, gaining 172,000 views. Second, he got an email from Nike management who are interested in him. Nike is a large fashion enterprise that's recently started to dip its toes in arena streaming. As of now, they're the #1 company for management. The company wants to scout our protagonist and he is in complete shock at this information. It has only been a week since he has returned to this game. Youngchin shows Hyunwoo the contract that Nike has offered and offers to call them back for him. What a good friend. Back at Nike headquarters, the business department handle the contract. Tail shows the contract to his boss, stating that Hyunwoo has settled on the username AliBoss. But Kale likes to call him Mr. G. Jamie is the Nike management representative, and the person Kale is talking to. He thinks Kale is joking with the nickname Mr. G. Abbreviated, it comes to MG, which is the same initials as Melee God. A name Jamie knows well. There's no way he is going to forget the top-ranked player from 2 years ago. Jamie looks out the office window, unable to believe they were able to recruit such a big shot. After 2 years away, the great Melee God has returned to the arena. This will truly shake up the entire game. We see Hyunwoo celebrating with Youngchin. After only a week, he has been able to completely turn his life around just by gaming. Back in the game, Hyunwoo heads to the auction house, sorting his items between what he wants to sell and what he wants to keep. After selling the items he got from the party he killed and the Black Skull Guild, he ended up with 51,000 gold and a pair of shoes. He also received a necklace from Dakin's quest, which he almost forgot about. This item increases every single stat while in battle. The stats are no joke. If Hyunwoo combines all of the items he has gotten so far, his stats are around the same as a level 60 user. Since he is only level 32 now, he thinks it would be nice if he could just get a unique weapon with his leftover gold. The most important thing to him right now is attack power. Things like defense penetration don't hold much merit for him. It's not going to be easy trying to get a unique grade weapon with only 5,000 gold. To his surprise, he manages to find one at the auction. A dwarf's sword made by a golden hammer dwarf for only 1,000 gold. Realizing this is a fantastic deal, our protagonist jumps at the opportunity to purchase this item. Elsewhere in the auction house, the scene cuts to a player with a baffled look on his face. He is the Black Skull Guild master named Suron. It was him who listed the sword for sale, and it is revealed that he accidentally missed a 0 from the price, meaning it was supposed to be 10,000 gold. He isn't happy and yells at a woman next to him, telling her to find out who bought the sword and to bring him that person at once. Hyunwoo just leaves the auction house happy about his new weapon. There are 3 days until he signs the contract with Nike, and he wants to become stronger by then. He remembers the coin he received from Khan back in the class tower that gave him a quest that he remembers has a good reward. He decides that it is probably a good idea to do this quest. Walking down the street, he stretches his body. He needs to head to an estate in a place called Yusma and wonders how much a teleportation scroll is going to cost him. He heads to this place called Yusma ready to do his quest that requires him to meet a famous knight named Lebron. He approaches the front gate to a giant mansion. Understandably, the Empire's strongest knight is living on a completely different level to everyone else. The guards refuse to let Hyunwoo enter until he shows them the coin he received. The guards don't argue and let him pass. The guards tell him that he can find the person he is looking for in the training hall at the center of the estate. All the other people watch him enter in disbelief. Many of them even try to sneak in along with our protagonist, saying they are in a party together. Thinking about it, Hyunwoo has never seen a video of Lebron before, so he decides to hit record so he can capture this moment. When he reaches the location, he sees a well-built man sitting on the floor with his legs crossed and eyes closed. Even with his eyes closed, the man senses our protagonist and asks if he is the one who came on behalf of Khan's recommendation. The man is Lebron, and it's been a long time since an adventurer has sought him out, and if Khan has recommended our protagonist, then he must be skilled. He asks if Hyunwoo is here to test his strength, but Hyunwoo states he is just here to complete the quest. A sword fight reveals more about a person than 1,000 words. Lebron wants to know if Hyunwoo is up to the test and throws him a wooden sword. Hyunwoo becomes a little annoyed. It seems like he has to fight everyone he meets just to prove his skill. Lebron says if he impresses him, he will teach him some new skills. The two clash swords as the fight begins, and Lebron begins to analyze our protagonist to see his strength. Each strike is full of power and his technique is unique. He even makes use of his feet. Lebron knows that most knights wouldn't be able to take our protagonist. However, in the end he only rewards Hyunwoo 50 points and knocks him backwards. There have been around 10 challengers so far and none of them have scored higher than 50. Lebron begins to think that maybe Hyunwoo is just the same as the others. Knowing he can't win, Hyunwoo just says that he is going to do whatever he can as he runs at Lebron using a dashing skill. Lebron blocks the attack, but someone using a dash at that distance came as a surprise to him. While in midair, Hyunwoo appears behind the famous knight ready to deal a devastating blow. He slashes his sword aiming straight for Lebron's neck as he lands on the floor. Lebron is impressed. He was bold enough to try a dangerous attack even whilst knowing the difference in their skill levels. Not only that, but the attack was also done in midair. He awards our protagonist 80 points for his effort. Hyunwoo stands ready to hear what skills he is going to learn for passing the test. But Lebron informs him that the test isn't over and there is more. He tells our protagonist to get into position and prepare to do his best, with a smile on his face as he sees talent inside Hyunwoo. Hyunwoo appears unimpressed when he realizes the test was to balance some food on his head without dropping it. Lebron shakes his hand, acknowledging that he has great skill. Among the 9 other people that have challenged him, Hyunwoo has by far been the best. After completing his quest and impressing Lebron, Hyunwoo receives a bunch of notifications, showing that he has earned experience and even a new title. Known as the Rising Star, the effect increases all his stats by 10%. He also receives a skill book which knocks him back when he opens it. The book gives him the skill Master of Combat, which increases all stats by a further 10% during battle. 2 10% stat increases is a 20% in total, and Hyunwoo cannot believe it. Lebron says goodbye, but Hyunwoo doesn't want to leave. He feels like this isn't enough and wants this quest to keep going. He asks Lebron if there is anything he can do for him. Lebron actually does have something he can do and gives him a new quest. A lot of undead have appeared in Southern Briggs and His Majesty suspects magicians are behind it. Lebron wants Hyunwoo to investigate the situation for him. Looking at the quest he just received, Hyunwoo sees that its grade is MS, which stands for Main Scenario. Main Scenario quests are fundamental quests pertaining to the arena storyline that affects the entirety of the game. Lebron warns that the magicians may specialize in necromancy and psychic magic, so he should be on guard and careful not to be deceived. Hyunwoo is proud of himself. At only level 33 he is already out here completing main scenario quests. Back at the auction house, Suron is still unhappy about his lost sword, angrily shaking his guild members asking why they haven't found it yet. Hyunwoo passes by this scene and wonders what is going on. After realizing that the person Suron is looking for is him, he decides to stay quiet. He also notices from the marking on their armor that these guys are from the Black Skull Guild. He can't seem to get a break from these guys. He logs off and removes the headset, returning back to the real world. Even though he is in the real world, he still thinks about the game, wondering what the best way to do his new quest would be and how he should deal with the Black Skull Guild. Youngchin enters the room telling our protagonist that he has prepared some food for him. After hearing about the problems Hyunwoo is having with the guild, he suggests that he uploads a video provoking them. A declaration of war posted on the arena community board would make it visible to the public, and the guild wouldn't be able to ignore it. Doing this will also gain Hyunwoo more publicity. His friend's idea is genius and he knows it. He smiles with food around his mouth, saying that he is going to defeat the whole guild all by himself. The next day the declaration of war is posted on the community board, and a fuss occurs at the Black Skull Guild headquarters. They watch the video that is going viral. Hyunwoo talks about Junwoo of the Black Skull Guild and how he made him delete his character and start over twice. He has decided that he is going to do whatever it takes to get all the other guild members to delete their characters as well. There are only 15 executive members in the guild and Hyunwoo has already defeated 2 of them. He challenges all the remaining ones to a character deletion bet whilst waving his sword around. Suran is furious. Not only is this guy attacking his guild, but he is also the person who ended up buying his sword for cheap. He tells his assistant to gather the other executive guild members. He is going to beat this player to a pulp. The war between Hyunwoo and the Black Skull Guild has officially begun. A meeting is summoned between the members of the guild, where everyone sits around a large table and discusses what they know about this new player that has recently challenged them. His username is AliBoss and he is around level 30. However, seeing that he was able to take down 2 executives by himself, the guild believe that he is hiding something. They conclude that the character deletion bets he proposed are too risky. Even if they win, there is no benefit to them in taking part. It would probably be better just to ignore it. Suran is engulfed in rage though. The thought of ignoring such a thing makes him sick to the stomach and he starts yelling. They need to uphold the reputation of the guild. And this little punk took his dwarf sword.
It's the end of this video. What? Like and subscribe for more videos. It's the end of this video. What? Like and subscribe for more videos.